I was just in the Rehoboth Beach. Let me straighten out a little bit here. There we go. The Rehoboth Beach, Delaware area. Is it Dewey? I think it's pronounced. Bethany. And another one, the name of which I can't remember. And while I was there, I'm actually kind of wearing this as a little bit of a reminder. It is insane to me that there is no train, passenger train, from Baltimore, Wilmington, or Washington, D.C. that goes to the Ocean City, Rehoboth, all that. Lewis. Did I already say that? Anyway, there's no train that goes there. And that is crazy. Just crazy. The traffic that goes in and out of that area, especially during the summer, is completely bananas. And you could solve so much by just having proper train connections. You don't have to have it stop in every little small town that it goes through. Just have it go from major cities to the major destinations. It's not hard, people. Route 1 goes right down. Put a light rail down the center of Route 1. It's got too many lanes of traffic as it is. Just come on. Anyway, that's all aside. While I was there, also drinking some Dogfish Head Melodious gin, and I'm doing what I haven't done before, which I'm making the cocktail that they recommend on the back, which is start with your favorite recipe for ice, add a few cubes, and a splash of Melodious gin. That's what I've done. This is a really easy drinking gin. This is like when a lot of people will say, oh, I don't like gin. And I understand, I'm not trying to encourage you to be a drinker. I'm not even trying to encourage you to drink gin specifically. But I hear a lot of people say, I don't like gin. Why don't you like gin? Part of it is, the bitterness or the, just what have you. But there are gins out there that are different. And very different. People do some really interesting things with gin. And Melodious, I think, is one of those that if you have bounced off of stuff like, big name brands like Tanqueray, which I think tastes terrible, or Beefeater, or something like that. If you've bounced off of those things, you might still try something like Melodious gin if you can get it. It's not necessarily easy to get outside of Rehoboth. But anyhow, it's really good. It's really easy drinking. The only big name brand that I can think of that I find close, although it's still got a real wallop to it, is Hendrick's. Hendrick's is, I find, to be relatively easy drinking, but I'm not going to lie, it's got a real punch. So, oh, that is good. That is a nice cocktail. A little Melodious over ice. Good job on mixing. Also, while I was in Rehoboth, I picked up this map. It's upside down. This map of the town. Now, why did I pick that up? I've been here many times. I know my way around fairly well. I've stayed in here a couple of times. I've stayed down here sometimes. This time we stayed way that way. Anyway, I know Rehoboth, but what I was looking at is that this is a kind of a cool just map of a town. And I could translate this into a tabletop RPG map. What are there? Yeah, see, there's some other maps. Here's Historic Lewis. I always want to say Lewis. Some other, anyway, little places. This is Dewey Beach. So, anyhow, it might be cool to try to translate this into an actual town for an RPG, I think. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. What I might do is go in and cut all of this stuff out and then mount it on a board and maybe do some notes on it or something like that. But what got me to thinking about that? It's interesting. But I had actually been thinking along these lines for a little while since I saw a map, actually, of a Disney park. And that got me to request some friends that I knew that were going to Disney parks to score me some maps. Because I think these maps could make for some really interesting Dungeon City setting guides. And you could even use the key to come up with something. How would I do that? I'm not exactly sure yet, but it's an idea that I have been kicking around. Here's Epcot Center. You know, that could make a neat kind of setting. I think where I was at mentally when I first got to thinking about it was I had read, not too long before, I had read oh gosh, what are they? The Neverland and Oz RPG books that use 5e, although they're largely system neutral or system agnostic. I had looked at those and I got to thinking, you know, wouldn't these Disney property maps also make for interesting settings? And while I got thinking about that, and I've been starting to collect some of these maps that I'm going to try to use at some point, again, probably mounting them on a poster board or something, I got to thinking about how some other buildings that I know of have also useful maps, like the National Gallery of Art and Smithsonian Art, American Art Museum, excuse me. That is two museums which are housed inside of the same building in Washington, D.C., and I got from them this really cool map. This is, you have first floor, second floor, third floor, and fourth floor. And there's even a little diagram about some maps. Anyway, I think that this could be really neat to use for another kind of building in some way. Perhaps a mansion, perhaps simply a building, like a municipal building that you need to run your characters through, something like that. Anyhow, I've got to think I may try to score some other museum maps and other maps for various tourist sites and things like that, and how they just might shake things up a little and make you think about things in a bit of a different way. I don't know. Maybe it's a cool idea. Maybe it's just another way for me to be a pack rat. Only the future will be able to tell, but that's just where my thoughts were. And I was wondering if you have ever used anything like this for your gaming habit, hobby, whatever you want to call it. That's it for right now. I'm going to go back to drinking my gin and thinking about how traffic to Rehoboth is insane and we need better public transit in America. Let's get it together, people. Take care.